Oh my god. Okay, so I just tried to record and I ended up taking a picture. That's quite amusing. Anyways, so hello and welcome back to episode 3, which is romance part 2. That's really confusing. I tried to Google myself earlier and I looked up like my name and stuff and I just couldn't find it. So I think I need to change like the title of the video so I can make it like Teen Angst episode 3 romance part 2. That's kind of long and complicated, but I think it'll be easier and I'll get more of the group I'm looking for. I promised myself I wouldn't look at the comments for like my first few videos, but I did anyways, and I had no comments, and I was so thankful. Because, yeah, I don't really have, there's nothing really to comment on right now. There's no like input or questions I have. But whatever, I had 2 views on my first video and 1 view on my second, which means that's possible that one person is actually following my videos, which is really exciting. Anyways, let's get back to the story. So, we left off with, I gave Brooke my number and she never texted me back. And I was just like, okay, so she doesn't like me, whatever. And I went on like those next 3 days just thinking like, oh man, this sucks. She doesn't even like me. And then like I think it was Friday, I finally went up to her and I was like, so did something happen? Did you like just forget or something like that? And she was like, oh no, I just couldn't read the handwriting. I texted like 3 different numbers. And I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. And then I just gave her my number, and then we texted from there. We texted a whole lot, all the time, and we would always start our texts with "Hey." That's something I remembered, and for just some reason I just couldn't come up with something else, and she couldn't either, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. So, you know. And then later down the line, I think she was like, we should hang out. So I was like, okay. And then we met up at my park, and I was in a tree. And she drove up, and she's like, where are you? And I got out of the tree, and I was like, alright, that was stupid. Well, yeah, and with the phone thing, yeah, never mind. So we hung out and we pretty much just like sat on a bench and talked for the longest time. And then she was like, "All right, I gotta go." I was like, "Okay." So that was pretty good. I mean, things were back in the up. We even hung out another time, which was really awkward because like she kind of just drove me around, and she's a scary driver. I mean, she was freaking scary. Anyways, so then homecoming's coming up. So I'm like, all right, homecoming. I'll ask her to homecoming. That'll be pretty cool. And so time's getting closer, and I'm like, all right, how am I gonna ask her? And I figured, it's just homecoming. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal. So I just figured I'd go and get her a flower and then ask her out. Well, the thing was, all the flowers were like sold out from all the stores. So I was like, crap, what am I gonna do? So I got this, I like found this origami, um, whatever, and I made like a little flower out of the paper. And I went up to her and I was like, do you want to go to homecoming with me? And I gave her the flower and she was like, yeah. And I was like, yes, yeah. So that was pretty great. And then, super hyped about that. Then, it's about a week from homecoming, and I'm at my sister's. She just got a new house, and she owns two dogs. They're pugs. One's black, one's white. They're like total opposites. and I was laying on the couch, completely bored out of my mind. It was raining a little bit, which in my stories, most of the time, if something like tragic or like really sad is gonna happen to me, it's raining. So, spoilers. I'm sitting there and I get a text message from her, and we text for a little bit, and then she's like, "I don't want to go anymore." I was like, "What?" She's like, "I don't want to go to homecoming anymore." And I was like, naturally, I was like, "Why?" And she was telling me these dumb excuses like, "I don't have a dress," and I was like, "Well," or I can't afford a dress. And I was like, "Well, do you have an old one?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, why can't you just wear that?" And she's like, you can't just do that." So I was like, "All right, fine, whatever. I'm not going to homecoming anymore." And at that point, I was just like, "I'm done with you. Seriously, you're just a pain in the buns." So then, um, and then the week goes by, and I pretty much just kind of like stop talking to her. And I'm like, you know what? Well, she's not gonna ruin my fun. I'm gonna go to homecoming anyways. And then she texts me like 2 days before homecoming, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with friends." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And then she's like, "You're such a douchebag," and I was like, "What?" I and I was like, "I did nothing to you. Why what?" She was like, "Yeah, you're a douchebag." Okay. um. So then I was like, "Yeah, she's nuts." Anyways, so then I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go to homecoming anyways," and I go to homecoming, and all my friends are there, and Megan is there, and Megan is girl number two, which yeah, I like that story a lot. Um, Megan requires some backstory. I met her freshman year, second semester. She came into my biology class, and I was like, wow, that's a really pretty girl. I'm never gonna like be with or be in a relationship with a girl like her, like ever. Which was true. I jinxed it. And basically we became like really good friends over the years, and I always secretly liked her, but I never like told her or did anything about it until now. Because I was thinking, Brooke and I are like total opposites. Like she's nuts and mean, and I'm not. Uh, so I was like, okay, well, if things didn't work out with her, which makes sense because we didn't really have anything in common and stuff. And here is a girl who's like I'm really good friends with, and we've got like a lot in common and stuff. So I'm like, well, it should definitely work with her. So yeah, after homecoming, we hung out at a bonfire, and we I don't know, sat close to each other and made jokes and whatnot. And I was like, I really like this girl. I think I might do something about it. And that will be the end of this episode. And then next time I'll get into the Megan story, and I'll probably finish it. And then we'll get into the next three, which are really fast. Uh, and then like a part of six. Six is really isn't much. And then we'll get to Peyton, which is a long story. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.